It made $1 billion. No, Babylon is the one that we're talking about. It came out around Christmas time, and today it was nominated for 3 Oscars.
Ridiculous.
Original score, costume design, and production design. Not actress, not picture, not director. So that was upsetting.
That was very upsetting.
I want to start with David on this one because I know you feel very strongly about Babylon.
Yeah, this isn't the first year where, not necessarily Giselle, but a lot of directors or films get snubbed, and it's just tiring to see, and I don't know what happened. I people blame it on the marketing, and I don't think the marketing was horrible, but yes, it could have been better. For me, I think the release date was having it late December and everywhere on early January. I think it would have been better as a late November, early December release, maybe.
Yeah, like most
to get out, have Avatar, out of the way,
Yeah.
But and also like the length, I guess people. But again, Avatar's long, so it's a fantastic movie. I don't think it's perfect. I think there are some times where I think it does cross the line a little bit in terms of like the yelling, the grotesqueness of it, the decadence and all that stuff. But I'm always championing new things, and he brought such a tale as old as time and Hollywood, but he showed it in a way that's just amazing. Like a lot of one shots, a lot of stuff. A lot of scenes that are memorable and I could watch over and over again. And unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it again because it did so horribly. Showtimes, it's out of theaters. A lot of theaters. So it's. But yeah, it's a brilliant movie. I saw it at an early screening at the Castro Theater, and unfortunately, like Damien Chazelle was supposed to be there, but they say he got sick. But Diego Calva, the lead actor, he still made it, and he's a great guy too. And I loved his answers, and I thinking about it, I'd hoped he probably would have been nice to see him get more awards recognition. I thought it was a solid performance, especially.
And that's about it.
Yeah, like for a fairly newcomer, he did a great performance. Obviously, going against Margot or Brad Pitt, but he's a great guy, and I can't wait to see what else he's got in store in the future. But great movie, and it's literally a crime, and they should get arrested for not nominating Babylon.
Yeah.
Now they have 10 movies that they need to nominate, and they still didn't get in Babylon.
Yeah, but they got in Elvis, so there you go.
That weirds me out. Like,
so
Elvis.
I will. Yeah. What? Sorry.
Aren't they lowering the number, right?
Again? I don't think so.
I don't know.
They just expanded it to you need to put in 10 starting last year, so I don't think they plan on.
Okay, is it the need to put in 10?
I think that's what you. Yeah. Okay, so I agree with you, 100%. The thing with Babylon is it comes so close to being a perfect movie. That you're almost upset that it isn't. Because, like you said, sometimes it does cross a line in the grotesque, and sometimes it does. Actually, only one time it crossed the line for me in like the self-awareness of it, like in the last scene. I thought that was a little bit weird.
Oh.
That was ridiculous, yeah.
And so.
Oh, well, you guys don't like the last.
I love the last scene
Just
in general.
The editing of the last 30 seconds.
Like
I'm trying not
the
to spoil
references to the other movies. I'll say that. I think that's pretty non-spoilery.
Like such a awesome, like sort of like not. I don't know if he was trying to go, but in 2001 where he's crossing the Jupiter or that like that whole sequence. I thought like that was just the movie lovers version of it. Just turn space into movies. I'm like, yes, this is amazing.
I think as film fans, like it is amazing, but like I'm just not sure if it works in the end of the movie, because I feel like the scene is so powerful. I'm not gonna spoil what happens in the scene, but what's actually happening in the film is so powerful that I feel like it takes away of that a little bit to become more of like a film fan's dream, I guess.
It's like if in La La Land, like he was playing at the jazz club, and then in addition to like the fantasy, they also show like Louis Armstrong and like all the history of music. Like that would have been too much. So that's what I felt with this decision.
It was warranted because it did touch on, you know, the transition of silence to talkies, and then they did go into like what the future cinema is gonna be, you know, and you know, especially with Brad Pitt's character, and you know they're all older now, and you know I don't want to spoil too much, but obviously Diego's character, you know, he's seeing what the possibilities of what, you know, the movies can be, and then you know obviously goes into some, I don't know, I loved it. I don't know.
I think the really modern movie really, really rubbed me the wrong way. Until we got to that point, it was doable for me. I was in it.
If it was only the movies from before it's set, then that works.
As soon as it got to like 2010, I was like, eh. So yeah.
The only
Mad
thing
about is that they didn't show a Nolan movie. I'm like, how dare you, Giselle? You should have thrown The Dark Knight or Interstellar or
But
something.
following-
But
No.
So like that.
Tenet.
Yeah, but that's crazy because that's literally for me the only thing wrong with the movie, and maybe I did get weirded out for a couple of scenes that maybe I wouldn't have gone so far.
With people like defecating on each other.
Yeah, that wasn't great. So I almost threw up. But like other than that, like I said, it's as close to perfect as a movie can get without being perfect. Honestly, it's in my top 5 of the year. Especially Margot, like performance-wise, Margot Robbie blew me away. Like she, it's such a crime. You were talking about a crime. Like for sure, it's a crime that this movie is not nominated for anything. For sure. Like it should have been in for maybe directing, best picture, screenplay, cinematography, a bunch of things. But it is a crime that Margot Robbie is not in the conversation for Best Actress.
And they weren't even like predicting her. Like it would have been sad if she wasn't nominated today. But the whole like it had 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, and like I understand what turned people off about it, but I'm upset anyway that like that some people didn't see what we saw, because I had such a good time. Even like there isn't really that much of a moving story. It's usually just like shit coming out of nowhere. And I honestly love that way of storytelling. It reminded me of like Paul Thomas Anderson's work, like with Boogie Nights or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where it's kind of just like you see long scenes of people just filming movies.
And you see Brad Pitt drunk in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
That too. And Margot Robbie is a naive up-and-coming actress in both movies.
No, but like her character arc in this movie is like, it's like her performance. It blew me away. It didn't go the direction I thought it was gonna go, and that's mostly true for this whole script. Like Gal said, they were always surprising you and throwing you like some crazy curveballs that you didn't see coming. That speech that remind me the actress's name, Gal.
Jean
please.
Smart?
That Jean Smart gave to Brad Pitt was one of the most
That
incredible like scripted moments that I've seen in movies this year. One of the best, for sure.
And she's lovely.
Oh, she's great in the movie. But yeah, just what she had to say about this craft that we love just made me like, this is like the messages that about movies and film that Damien Chazelle really knows how to put in his movies without throwing it in your face. He just puts these beautiful messages about art and what it really means. When we're trying to explain how much we love this stuff, it's because of shit like this.
And the way he like tells his character arcs without even completing them at times, without telling you that much you need to know, or like the way he just like, again, throws in shit that might not even matter, or prolong scenes for Like the opening scene is like 30 minutes. I don't even know. And I was just in for whatever this movie had to offer because the world brought me in. The music was spectacular. And the way the camera and everything just immersed me into what felt like something so grand. Again, he's so good at doing that. Like you felt like the world that he created in front of you stretches so far, and there's so many little stories to tell. And yeah, man, it was great, and it was over 3 hours, and I felt the runtime, but I also didn't mind it because there were times where I just didn't want it to end.
Yeah, I just wanted to stay there as long as Damien Chazelle would have me.
And when you get
honestly.
out, it's like unfair. Like he only releases a movie every 3 to 4 years. Like why?
I think this is why, because they're this good, and you need time for good things.
Actually, before this, he did every 2 years, but now it's
Yeah.
going to be longer.
Are you guys ready for some scores?
Yeah.
Let's start with you, David.
Let's see. Do I go? Just because it got snubbed, I'll give it 9.5.
Same, 9.5.
Same 9.5.
There you go. It's as close to a perfect movie as a movie can get.
As close to a perfect movie as an imperfect movie can get. And look, I get why it divided people, but I still don't get how the reception was less positive than Elvis.
No, it's ridiculous. I hate it so much. I'm so disappointed at the Academy right now.
Yeah, a lot of people still haven't seen it, but I think it might gain a future love for it because you do see people seeing it for the first time now, and they're like, "Wow, it's amazing," or they're like, "There are some things I didn't like about it, but it's a really great film." So I'm like, okay, finally, people are just start spreading,
I think for sure it's gonna like grow a bigger following. And again, I bring up PTA. Like he's not really relevant, but his style is similar to the like storytelling in this movie, where it's like it's not exactly linear, but it still has these things that like I feel like people will latch on to when they watch it in the coming years.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Jacob from Jacob Watches Films. He's watched this movie 4 times in the last
5
week.
now.
5?
No, 5.
5 times in the
Yo.
last week. He went to the theater
He must
5
be
times.
devastated.
And my heart goes out to you, my man. I know you must be in a serious depression right now.
So it's currently made. It's sad to say this movie's made $28 million as opposed to $78 million.
And Jacob's
$27
only
million
responsible from
went to Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob's only responsible for half of that. But yeah, it's such a good movie, and it's such a shame that this happened.
It's an odd one
Yeah.
also because again, movies like Don't Look Up or Vice, they got like 50 something, and not everyone loved it, but they got that boost because of the big director and the appealing style. And I thought for sure Babylon was gonna have that luck today, and guess not.
No, I knew it was gonna be bad. I was already prepared, but it doesn't mean it hurt any less. Are you guys ready to rank Damien's movies? This is what we do usually, David, when we have like these director episodes. We like ranking their movies. I think it's pretty obvious from our scores, but it's still fun to.
I feel like we'll
just
have
talk
similar
about.
lists. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, I'll say number 4, First Man, 3, Babylon, 2, Whiplash, 1, La La Land.
It's same.
Same. We all-
Okay,
last time,
that's the end of the episode. No,
last time we did Martin McDonagh, and we had each a completely different list. I don't think we had one movie in the same spot.
we didn't.
The three
It
of
was
us.
wild.
And now we have everyone with the same exact list.
This is fun.
I do think that Babylon has the potential of maybe surpassing Whiplash.
Ooh.
I'm not sure. For now, it's a no. But you never know with these things. Like maybe watching it like more times, maybe it will become one of those movies for me. I'm not sure. But no, I hope that changes. But I don't think any movies that he ever releases are gonna touch La La Land.
I hope Margot Robbie wins Best Actress. That's not gonna happen.
Because, yeah, like we said before, La La Land is...
No, I don't know if
Perfect
anything will
filmmaking.
touch La La Land, but he has the potential to do it. I mean, whatever he has in store, He could make another
And I hope
movie.
he's-
He could make another movie about movie making. He could make a horror movie. He could make a western. I don't know. He's got it all in him.
He does.
And I just saw Once Upon a Time in the West for the first time, and you just kind of get that feeling like you just saw something truly special. And I would love to see a western of that caliber in today's technology and artists like Nolan or Chazelle, like just make a western, make a epic western that that sweeps us all off our feet.
Or
Yeah, Tarantino, but I want Tarantino to do a sci-fi. I think that would just be amazing.
yeah, that would be interesting. I feel like
But
yeah.
with
If we're getting
Babylon's, was that?
If we're getting into westerns, I prefer Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of it, but they're all great.
Yeah. No, they're all
Yeah.
fantastic.
Wow,
but to go back on Babylon,
that would be crazy.
was that?
Like a western from Damien Chazelle would be crazy. I'm on board.
Yeah, like I could totally see it, and I just hope that with Babylon, like I guess getting snubbed and not being a commercial success, I hope he still has the opportunity to keep making the films that he wants to make instead of like maybe I hope the studios don't get weird and like watch him more or not give him the budget he wants, or because he's such a great artist. And
I mean, he's
think
still the La La Land guy. So I think he'll always have that stamp. Like even before the movie
Yeah.
came out,
He's the youngest director to ever win an Academy Award. Nobody's ever taking that away from him. He was what, 36?
was 32 when he won. Now he's 38.
32. That's insane. Nobody's ever taking that from him. Like ever.
Guys, I have this movie that I just made.
Gao, you're not winning best director, but sorry.
Maybe when I'm 50.
But yeah, I'm happy that like La La Land was the first movie I ever watched from him in the theater, and it's always gonna be a magical moment that I treasure. And yeah, we love Damien Chazelle over here. No complaints about him at all. And we just hope that, like David said, he gets to keep doing his own thing and nobody messes with him. And yeah, I guess that's the episode for today, Gal.
All right. Thank you, David, for joining us. This has been a long time in the making. You've been a terrific guest and
Yeah, you were
fellow
great. Thank
film
you.
fanatic. And we'd like to thank Mr. Chazelle for doing what he's doing and inspiring us.
Claps to the man.
And I'd like to thank Justin Hurwitz for changing our lives with his music
Wow. Crazy.
4 different times.
4 different times. Yeah, I would like to also thank David for coming up. This was truly great episode. And yeah, do you want to shout out your socials and everything, David?
Just follow these guys. They're way better than I am. So
No, come on.
All film topics.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Thank you. If you want to follow David, follow Ultimate Movie account on Instagram.
Do check out his stuff. His reels are fantastic.
They truly are. And if you want to follow us, you can't click here because we're not that technologically savvy. But at Film Fanatics Pod over here on Instagram and TikTok. And also, Gal, do you want to point it to the subscribe button there?
Subscribe.
There
Please
you
do.
go.
We would love to have you in our Film Fanatic family.
We would. We really would. So thank you guys for watching or listening wherever you are. Thank you, David, for coming up. And we'll see you guys next time. I'm Alan.
And I'm Gal. See you soon.
Film Fanatics. From the silver screen to your earphones with Alan Azulay and Gal Balaban.